let's see, starting from the beginning. I was born in Lima, Ohio. Lived here for most of my elementary life, and then ended up living in Indiana, which is where Lafayette, Indiana to be specific, which is where I had my first drink at the age of 14. And from the time that I had my first drink, I drank until I got sick. I just didn't have the ability to stop once I started. Even getting sick, I still couldn't wait till my next opportunity. And being that age, you know, the opportunity didn't come around all the time, so I was always looking for other means to self-soothe, I suppose. And Mom's medicine cabinet was one of those, so took a lot of pills and stuff like that in between my drinking sessions. I carried on drinking pretty much every opportunity that I had through my teenage years, pretty much always to the point of blacking out or passing out. And at 16, I got a job. I dropped out of high school, got me a job working at a restaurant, which was close to Purdue University there. And that was great for my habit because it was all college kids, it was all college students. So I quickly started getting invited to college parties, and probably went to Purdue University at least to the parties, more than I went to high school. And I drank pretty much daily for, I'd say, at least a year. Then my dad ended up re-enlisting back into the military and moving us down to Fort Campbell, Kentucky, when I was like 17, almost 18. Without alcohol supply, I didn't drink for quite a while, but you know, Mom's medicine cabinet was always there, so it's not like I stopped. Spent a few years down there drinking and working, mostly drinking. I'd worked just enough to be able to keep the job and keep drinking, maintain my lifestyle. So I did that for a few years till I turned 21, and then I decided I needed to do something with my life, so I went to school to get my CDL. Did really well in school, did the over-the-road truck driving thing for a month and a half, and then I ended up with a public intoxication after I got back from over the road. Ended up losing that job and essentially losing the career, because nobody hires somebody without experience in the truck driving field. It's really hard. So I moved back to Ohio, where I still had family, and I kind of couch surfed for a year or so, drinking and just carrying about. And then my dad ended up getting stationed up in Anchorage, Alaska, with my mom. My mom went with him, and he got shipped off to Afghanistan for 15 months. And my mom asked if I wanted to come up there, keep her company while he was gone, and I said, sure, why not? You know, different change of pace. Went up there, and with the change of environment and stuff, I'd actually kind of quit doing drugs. I didn't drink for like a year and a half. I went to school and got a degree in HVAC, became a service technician, got my EPA certification. And then I met the woman that ended up becoming my wife towards the end of my schooling. And shortly after her and I got together, I started drinking again, little by little. You know, I was pretty okay. I'd say I was pretty okay for the first 3-4 years. We had our first kid, and then my drinking just kind of picked up. It just got progressively worse and worse, and more and more angry too. Like, the more often I drank, I became verbally abusive and sometimes physically abusive. And she, after a few years of that, she told me that I either needed to make a change or, you know, she was leaving. And so we moved up to Fairbanks, and spent about a year up there, and things were better. I shouldn't say they were great, but they were better. As long as I wasn't drinking, I was a halfway decent human being. And then she decided, she was like, you want to move to Ohio to be around your family? And I was like, not really, but we can, sure. And we got pregnant for our second kid, and we moved down to Ohio to be around my family. And you know, it was first 2 years that we got down here, it was good. I rarely drank. My anger was under control. I was content. And then I just started drinking again. And you know, I didn't drink a lot. I didn't drink every day. I didn't drink even every weekend. But when I did drink, I was an asshole. You know, I treated her like shit. I treated the kids like shit. I wasn't a very good person. Until December 2nd of 2024, I got physically abusive one night when I was drinking. I only know what I was told because I don't remember it. And shortly after that, month and a half later, I got arrested for domestic violence and spent the night in jail. She filed for divorce, put a restraining order on me, all the good things. And since then, I've had the chance to tell her thank you because it was the best thing she ever could have done for me. It was the wake-up call that I needed to actually seek help, because I spent so many years trying to do this on my own and I couldn't. I didn't know how to ask for help. Best thing I ever did was find these rooms. So I started coming to AA meetings last February, and AA, it's not unreasonable to say that AA saved my life, because at that point, after the arrest and after all the drinking and all the BS that went along with it, I'd hit my bottom, and I was at a jumping off point to where I was either going to find these rooms and find help, or I was going to take my own life. That's just not a very good place to be. But once I accepted complete defeat, you know, to the disease of alcoholism, it was only then that I was able to begin to rebuild. The AA way of life began to run through me pretty quickly, changing my attitude and my way of thinking. It was through AA that I realized that there's a different way to live. Not just living without drinking, but how to live happily and peacefully in my own mind. And realizing that I didn't just have a drinking problem, that I had a thinking problem as well. This is the place that I belong here. Which was weird for me, because growing up, well, hell, even in my 20s, I never felt like I really belonged anywhere. But I know I belong in these rooms, and I've never felt more comfortable than when I'm in these rooms, surrounded by peers. It's what I would call peers. Like-minded individuals. And I know that I'll have to continue to come to these rooms and practice the AA principles in all the aspects of my life for the rest of my life, if I'm able to have any chance of success. February 3rd will be 14 months of sobriety. And it's been a hell of 14 months. It's had its ups and its downs, and sometimes I call myself reasonably miserable. You know, I've heard people say that they're reasonably happy, but even in my misery, I find solace because I'm able to feel things. I'm able to have emotions that I used to run from very regularly. As soon as I had a bad emotion, I'd drink. As soon as I had a good emotion, I'd drink. It was my solution to everything. And today I don't have to live that way, and it's because of these rooms and the people in them that I know now that I have a choice in the matter. And, you know, I wake up every day with untreated alcoholism, and I get the choice to treat that because of the tools that I've received from all of you guys. And it's a real blessing to me, because I'm an entirely different person than I was 14 months ago. And the way I treat my alcoholism is I wake up and I don't always read my readings first thing in the morning. Sometimes I'm a little sluggish getting up, got to get to work, all that stuff. But I'll read them on my lunches, or I'll even read them before I go to bed. But I always make sure that I at least get my daily reflections read. And I take some time for meditation, and I try to pray. Not as good at it as I should be. But, you know, spiritual progress, not perfection, you know. And I'm getting there one day at a time. But I don't think I'd be alive if it wasn't for these rooms. And even worse, I may be alive, but I may still be in the misery and hell that I put myself in. Because I knew what I was doing was wrong, and I continued to do it anyway. And I think that's the thing that sits the hardest with me, is I didn't have the strength to do it alone, but not a lot of people do, you know? And it's not weak of me to ask for help. It's brave to ask for help. It's brave to come in these rooms. I can remember how scared I was walking through that door, and how scared I was walking through that door tonight, too, to stand up in front of all you people and admit these faults. It's one of the hardest things I've ever done, but it's exactly what I need to do and exactly where I need to be. And I'm eternally grateful for the rooms and the people that have continued to carry the message to people like me, and I hope to continue to carry this message to others as well. I know that was short, but with all that being said, this is a school of life, and we never graduate.
Yeah.
I pass, guys.
Thank you, Matt.